Welcome to Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me is Ernie. Oh my God, it's a new guy into the Real Talk Baseball family. How's it going, Ernie?
Hey, everything's going well, Carlos. Thank you for inviting me over to Real Talk Baseball. I'm excited to be joining you guys here, talk about baseball and the weekly type of news here. Looking forward to it, man.
Good, man. Hey, the WBC, dude. Oh my God, what a game it was right now. Japan against Mexico, man. Dude, what happened? What happened?
It was, oh man, poor Mexico. Giovanni Gallegos just did not have his stuff today, man, and Japan was ready to take over. They know they needed this game, and they're ready to face U.S. tomorrow. It's going to be an exciting one.
I can't stress out how much I enjoyed WBC though. I've been seeing all the games. I guess because I'm off Monday and Tuesday, I get to see a bunch of games, and on Sunday for sure. And then we get home from work and get to see every country's team. Like it's just been a different environment of baseball. Like I can't be so like I guess I'm a huge baseball fan, so that just brings out a lot on us. Like I know for baseball fans all over the place. I mean, there's negatives and there's positives, but let's focus on the positives right now. There's a lot of people watching these games right now, and like I mean, Otani, dude, one of the I guess he is the best player in the world right now, right?
That is correct. He showed it today why he is one of the best, and why that 500 million contract is looking pretty, very likely. Now, this WBC has been amazing, Carlos. We have enjoyed very high level competition in the month of March. We've never seen this. We're usually watching spring training, not really paying attention. But this WBC has brought baseball back,
Yeah,
and it's here to stay.
that's true.
And I think this is going to change the outcome of baseball. And March is going to be the new time of the year to be watching baseball for WBC.
And it's gonna happen every what? Every 3 years, every 4 years, I believe, right? I think it's every
Yes,
3 years. I think.
that's correct.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not watching any March Madness because of this. I've
really.
just been into baseball.
Wow, dude, it's just when Otani came up in the ninth inning and he got that double, I'm like, man, that's why he's the best player in the world. That's
Did you
why
know?
he's in the WBC
Did you
representing
have a
Japan.
feeling that he was gonna? The game was over by that double. By the time you saw that double.
I saw momentum change, but I saw momentum change when you said, I guess when we were watching the game and they overturned that call at second base.
Hmm.
I didn't think they have enough evidence, but I'm not an umpire. I'm not New York. I'm not trying to change the call, but there wasn't enough evidence for me. But I guess that call changed everything. But it's baseball. That's what baseball is, and I mean we love the sport, right? And this is just going to increase so many other fans to watch. There's a bunch of people that I know that didn't are not even into baseball and
Yeah.
just started watching the Mexico game, which was really cool. Like the United States game yesterday was a blowout. I know it sucked, but United States has a hell of a team, huge team. Like I can't. I mean, if you were part of that team, would you even start? It's just too
Exactly.
many stars, too many stars. So Japan, United States, it's the ultimate final. I think this is just going to increase so many level of baseball heads. And like I said in the beginning, there's positives, there's negatives. The positive, another positive. This is the last time we're going to get to see baseball that's not timed with the new rules. We're going to see
That's a good
baseball
point.
being played the way it was played before all these new rules are implemented to the MLB, right? Um, let's get into the negatives, dude. I know there's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of old people. There's a lot of broadcasters. There's a lot of writers that don't like the WBC. What do you think they're thinking?
I just think they're have a belief that these injuries. Unfortunately, we have seen a couple of injuries happen in this WBC. Some players have gone down. They're going to miss a couple months. We got the Edwin Diaz scenario. It's a very unfortunate scenario, but this could also happen in spring training. It could happen anywhere. Baseball's a type of sport that it's just anytime, anywhere you could get an injury.
Yeah. I mean, the first injury that comes to mind was Diaz from Puerto Rico, and it didn't happen on. I guess what they're saying is that didn't happen while he was pitching. They were celebrating, but from looking at it when he was celebrating, it didn't look like he was off the charts and going wild like hell. It, it was bound to happen. I feel like it was bound to happen. He was going to get injured, and I mean, unfortunately, it happened when he was celebrating. There was another injury that happened to Altuve. He broke his thumb, and that one, I mean, Bard was really wild all throughout I mean, his performance.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know, dude. I just feel like injuries are gonna happen in baseball. Doesn't matter if it happens spring training, that happens in the WBC. It's just gonna happen. It's just like in any other sport. You have basketball, you have soccer. Soccer, they stop the league so they can go and perform in the World Cup. Why don't you do that in baseball? You know,
Right.
you have all these things happening, and you have all these negative remarks on these reporters that they don't like it. Dude, I was watching earlier on High Heat how this guy was saying that he doesn't get excited for the WBC, and I'm just like looking at him and like, what? Why not? There's some high intense baseball in March. I don't get this way until October, dude.
Exactly. We have 162 games to go before we see this.
Exactly. So like now we saw it in March, and now we have to wait 162 games to get back into that stress level baseball again.
And not only that, Carlos, I feel like you're getting the most of the players are healthy coming in March. Had
Yeah,
we had this World Baseball Classic in October, most of these players would either be hurt or too tired to pitch or going forward. So I feel like March is the best time of the year where most players are still getting their timing back, and it's
yeah,
a perfect time for baseball, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, dude. I love this intensity of baseball though.
Really is.
Let's go into some of the comments that I've seen, and I put them on here because I wanted to go ahead and, I mean, it sucks. I don't want to give anybody, a bad rap or anything, but let's talk about Mark DeRosa first. Like, he's a coach for the United States. The Dodgers outfielder from Mookie Betts told him, you should coach this game like it's their last. And to be honest, like, I honestly feel like Mark DeRosa's inexperienced, and I mean, the United States needs to win this game. I feel. I feel like they need to go ahead and win this series because they're just the top dog in this sport. And Japan just got a scare from Mexico. No
Right.
one knew. No one ever thought that Mexico was going to make it this far. It surprised me. I identified a lot with these players from Mexico because I am Mexican American, and
Right.
I felt like, wow, like these guys are actually putting in work, and I felt like I was part of the team. I almost tripped over. Actually, I did trip over something when Barnes dropped the mask and he had it right next to him, and he caught the ball, and I was like, oh, I need to move that for him. But like it's things like that I got into, but Mark DeRosa, like I think he needs to step up as a coach. It's an experience. I understand that, but I don't think he's doing all that great. He has a high caliber team, but I think he needs to step up a little bit more. Um,
Yeah,
the
I
team,
think that team
yeah,
is very loaded offensively. They have one of the best hitters in the league out there. Most of these hitters could obviously hit over 25 home runs plus. You have Trey Turner hitting the ninth spot when he's right now loaded. I'm
yeah.
curious to see what he's gonna do tomorrow. This guy's on the hottest player right on the team, and he has him hitting ninth. So I could possibly would think to move on the top of the lineup if I was
You think
him.
they're gonna move him though?
I don't think so, and that's the thing. You have this loaded talent. I think they're gonna go based on the pitching matchup tomorrow, which I think is Drew Darvish against them. And
Yeah,
most of the league has seen Drew Darvish, so I
yeah.
think Team USA is very comfortable facing him. Actually,
Well, I don't think you should fix anything that's not broken. It's
yeah,
been
you're
working
right.
for you. Go in there and do it the same way.
But
Because when
there has
when you move something around, sometimes you're missing that extra X factor, which is Trey Turner batting ninth. And the Angels did it back in 2002, man. You're an Angels fan. You should know that. Remember they had X time
been
batting
the
ninth.
sorry. Let me stand up, rocking the vintage Angel shirt.
There you go. See, and Eckstein was batting ninth, and he started off a lot of innings for the Angels when he had batting ninth. So Trey
Yeah,
Turner's another spark plug, having Mookie Betts start off at the top of the lineup. You have
right, right,
Trey
right.
Turner in the ninth. You have two, leadoff batters right there. So, I mean, it's working. It's
It is
working.
working. There has been some times where Pete Alonso hasn't been looking time. Some of the players are showing signs of like having their timing off, but I feel like they're getting better as a series has been continuing.
Yeah,
And I'm so excited for tomorrow. It's a dream matchup that we were all looking forward to.
the two
Unfortunately,
best players.
Otani's not pitching, but we are seeing Trout versus Otani, and
Yeah.
that is one of the most exciting things to watch in TV
There you
for
go.
sure.
See, a fan just said Otani versus Trout should be interesting.
It
Yeah,
really
you're
is.
right. Yeah, we got Jasper. He's one of our old listeners. Hey, fellas, how's it going? Hey, Jasper, how's it going, dude? Before we go really deep into our show, we do have two shows. We have the fantasy side, which Will is going to be having that show going. He is in the East Coast, and he's going to be starting the show a little early. We still haven't decided what day or what hour we're gonna get on. Today we got on a little late because we saw the game Japan Mexico and we didn't want to get on and then not have anybody on here. But we do have two shows. Me and Will still cool. It's not like we're out of the fight. I don't want anybody thinking that. Like I know people are gonna be like, "What the hell? What happened?" Like, no, it's not that. It's just we're trying to get this channel bigger and have more shows on the Real Talk Baseball. So this is the Real Talk Baseball news, which we're gonna be on here weekly and we're going to give you the injury reports, anything that happens in baseball. So right now, the WBC is the biggest thing that's happening in baseball. And let's go into the other negatives, dude. I know the negatives has kind of, I hate hearing negative things on baseball. And I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure you do too, because it's one of
Yeah.
the sports that we watch, right? So let me. No, I'm sorry, I'm coughing. I just have. I don't know if I have a cold or I don't know what the hell it is. So here's one. Francisco Lindor has been saying that. I mean, I know you guys can read it, but he's expressing as a teammate of Puerto Rico and teammate of Mets. He understands Mets fans are going to be hurting because he's not going to be the closer. He's going to be out the full year. And for those of you that don't know, Edwin Diaz got injured while celebrating, like we said in the beginning of the show. So for most of these players that are from Puerto Rico, Dominicana, Mexico, Japan, any other country, including the United States players, everybody's saying they're proud to wear that jersey and have it across their chest. And they've been showing it. And the negative comes from the writers, comes from all these freaking people that like don't understand what it means to wear a jersey that says United States or says your country's name and you're representing that. Um, this guy here, Keith Holberman, you want to go ahead and read this one there? I think I
Yeah.
got it from you. I got this one from you. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think he's at first Freddie Freeman, now Edwin Diaz. The WBC is a meaningless exhibition series designed to get you to buy another uniform. To hell with the real season and split up teammates based on where their grandmothers got laid. Call it
Oh,
off now.
yeah. Yeah.
Keith.
Yeah. Come on. Like, really? Like, you don't have to go there. I mean, I honestly think that this is exciting baseball. It does need a lot of work. They do need to determine when they can do a World Classic because, like I said at the beginning of the show, the World Cup in soccer and football they have that in the summer. They had this past one in the winter, and they stopped all the leagues so that can go ahead and happen. So maybe baseball needs to do something that way. They don't have to do it at spring training because it is a different sport. I get it. You have to get your arms warm and loose and ready to go. And sometimes that's kind of hard when you just have 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get ready for some high level competition like the WBC. So
Exactly.
looking into that, maybe they should look into trying to eliminate the All Star game because no one pays attention to that game.
You got a
And
good point there.
right,
July, it's a good break for the players, and you would have 2 weeks of this tournament that most of these players
exactly.
would be playing, and
Yeah,
just set it in a set location here in the United States where the players wouldn't really have to travel much.
perfect. That's perfect.
Because
I
the
mean,
traveling kind of gets in the way for these players. They also want to rest, make it in a nice location, a 5-star hotel where they have the best time of their lives, you know?
five-star hotel. Like, and I was just talking to my dad today, and he told me that these players need to go home and play with their teams because these teams are paying them. But I told my dad, like, look, dude, if you're representing your country, that's a huge, huge honor. Like,
Right.
and my dad's like, I get it, but it's like a job. If you have a job and you have to perform, and they're paying you, then guess what? You have to perform it and you have to follow what they say. Now, he has a point. I have a point. And I wanted to win, of course, but I understand what he's saying, and I understand that a lot of people feel that a team is more important than the WBC. Like, there's a lot of I'm a Dodger fan, and I get to see a lot of Dodgers post their stuff, and they say like, why are they having this? This is meaningless. It makes no sense. They should have all their catchers, pitchers, everybody there. Julio Diaz, I saw a report that it said that he was already leaving and going to the Dodgers, report to Dodger camp. I saw him there today. So,
Yeah,
man,
I saw him in the dugout as well, and I was kind of confused because I had seen the same report, and which looked kind of sad because I felt like the WBC players should have been there for their team. So I was
yeah,
kind of upset that the baseball was kind of like you kind of come back to your team when in reality, like they're not even ready to pitch because they just pitched a couple days ago.
yeah.
So it's not like they were going to be training anyway. So
Yeah, yeah, and I got kind of bummed when I saw that, to be honest,
it
because I'm
really did.
like, yeah, because it's like, dude, you're part of the team. You start with the team. You should finish with the team. You should see it through. What if they would have made it to the championship if he would have left today, and he would have not been part of it? You know, so
Yeah, you got a good point.
and there's a lot of videos, people of the players saying that Urias is one of those funny guys to and good morale around the clubhouse. So I mean, whatever. He was there. I'm glad he was there. I'm glad they made it this far. I'm glad I'm seeing the United States Japan game tomorrow. That's
Yes.
going to be exciting. And I get to see the two top players, one from the United States, one from Japan, which plays in the MLB. And boom, we got what we wanted, pretty much. This is what
I
we're going
think
to get
so.
to see.
We all thought this was going to happen, and I think that's what the fans are really going to get a good treat for tomorrow.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, we talked about the WBC. Let's go ahead and move on. I know we have the predictions for the AL MLB season, and we want to go ahead and start with the West. I mean, you just heard Ernie's Angels fan. We have no hate for him. Of course, he's from California. Like, why not? Like, I know there's going to be people saying he's an Angels fan. Like, why? Nah, he's a Dodger fan too. Angels first. Actually, no. Baseball, Angels, Dodgers, right? That's how it
You
goes.
got a good point. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yep.
Because
Yep.
I'm more of a baseball fan, Dodgers second, and then other teams, third. So
Yeah,
I
that's baseball's first.
yeah.
In the For the AL West, you got a good point. It's going to be a fun division this year. I think the Astros have a really good team.
There you
You
go.
know, they
See, you
picked.
got a fan. Go Angels. There you go.
All right, KBC. Thanks for stopping. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So with Tani and Trout this year, I mean, you're watching the best players going at this WBC. You're showing signs of Patrick Sandoval. The pitching has picked up much better than previous years. I think people are just so used to the Angels pitching now doing so well that you forget that their pitching actually is getting better.
Yeah.
With Altuve being out for the first 2 months, I do see the Angels giving them a fight, but like Angels always do, they find a way not to win first place. But
But this WBC is exposing a lot of players. We
it
were
really
talking
is.
about we were talking about this offline. And before I continue, Jasper, White Sox. We know you're a White Sox fan. Hopefully they can do good this year. Tim Anderson, I love how he plays shortstop. We'll get into the Central in a bit, but I honestly see that Trout and Otani, like, they're gonna get good exposure from this. I just feel that Trout, hopefully this is not the only playoff experience he gets. Hopefully the Angels do make it into the playoffs next year and they go far, because Trout's the best player, Otani's the best player, and we don't even know if Otani's going to be an Angel next year. But hopefully we get to see this going, and hopefully we don't just see in the WBC this year where Trout is just killing it, man. And remember I said that a Trout shouldn't be the team captain? I take that back, to be honest, because now, like, he is proving that he is the team captain. He's excited. They're having fun. Everybody's saying everybody's having fun, and that's what baseball is. That's what baseball
Yeah,
is.
Carlos, and you are seeing him more of a leadership type role with the at Team USA, which I had
Yeah,
never really seen with the Team Angels. He kind of was always that quiet guy, never really spoke up about team losses, pitching. But with the Team USA, he looks like he's having fun and pushing his guys, and they're getting the best results of the team.
yeah.
So I'm hoping
I
he
didn't mean to
translates
cut you
that with
off.
the
I know you were
Angels.
talking about Patrick Sandoval.
Oh
You were
man, he
talking
had
about
pretty
Patrick
good
Sandoval.
stuff today.
Yeah,
He's come up. A lot of people didn't really know much about him. He came actually from the Astros.
he did.
Got traded for Martin Maldonado, but this guy has some strong pitching. He struck out the side in the first inning and held it down against Japan. They hadn't seen that
Yeah,
type of pitching against any team in the World Baseball Classic. So
that's true. I think
he
Mexico
shows
was
some
the
good
only team
stuff.
that gave him a little tough ride, right?
Right.
Tim Anderson to LA. He read my mind. Chewy, how's it going? You read my mind. But what LA team? The Angels or Dodgers? Like, which one? If this is Dodgers, I love that. Even if it's the Angels, I think it'll make a lot of sense. But Jasper, I know you're a White Sox fan. I know you will hate that trade because you have Tim Anderson out there in Chicago. Um, but yeah, who do you have winning in the West? And that's the important question. I always pick the Angels as one of the teams that's going to surprise everybody.
Same.
The last 2 years, I've been saying that. Last year they went to a hot start, June hit, and then they just
Yeah.
collapsed.
And it's been like that for the past couple years. So I
Yeah,
guess until the Angels, I don't see no change for them. I still have to go Astros. They do have the better starting rotation, and they still have Dusty Baker coaching them up, and he's doing a heck of a job. And
he is.
that guy just has players coming up left and right, and minor league players come up, and you're like, who are they? And they just keep raking. So
Yeah.
until they could get taken down the throne, I guess I got to go Astros. And
So
it hurts me to
Astros in
say
the
as an
West.
Angels fan.
Yeah, and the AOS, right? I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Astros as well. Even though the Mariners are one of the top teams too, we can't forget about them. The Mariners have a good team. They
Right.
have a good, solid young stars of players. And before we continue, like you mentioned something that how many players are playing in the WBC or played in the WBC from the Angels?
So yeah, the Angels actually have the most players currently playing in the WBC. Well, they had a total of 10 players
Yeah,
representing different countries.
yeah,
So they have the highest amount of players.
which is
And
really good.
and
Which
they're
is
getting the
really
most
good.
exposure. Yeah.
Exactly. That's just giving you exposure to try to get into playoffs. Look, the WBC doesn't mean that you have to win it all. You're just getting exposure to playoff baseball, and some of these players don't have that playoff baseball.
Yeah, you got a good point.
Look at Trout. That stat sticks to me is that 1 for 12. Like, it's not a good stat to have. But if he carries this WBC and he wins the WBC, it's gonna carry over into the season, and that's gonna probably help him out. So I am picking the Astros, and my secret or my prediction, I guess it's not way off, but I'm gonna pick the Angels if the Astros fall out because you have the teams, some teams that are up, they have to have like a down year, and that down year can be exposed to injuries. Altuve is already injured, you know, um,
Right. Some of
and,
these
and
arms already pitched in October, so you never know. They get kind of tired when it comes to the next season,
yeah,
and they're not the same type of pitchers anymore.
exactly. So I got the Astros winning the division, and if they don't win the division, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Angels. And not just because you're an Angels fan. I think I pick the Angels every year. And if you go back to our videos, you'll be able to see that I pick the Angels a lot of times. We got one of our Chewy says the Astros first, uh, Mariners second, and they do have young talent there. Julio Rodriguez, dude, he's gonna be one of the explosive players this year. He wasn't all there in the WBC. I think Dominican had the highest, expectation for them to win this WBC or even get to the final. But they didn't show up. Puerto Rico beat them, which Puerto Rico has had a good WBC. So let's go into the Central, dude. Let's talk about the Sox. Let's see if
Yeah,
they if what do you think in the Central? Who's gonna win the Central?
man, this is a tough one for me. There is a lot of good teams out there. The
Yeah,
Guardians continuously keep showing that they're one of the better teams up with their rotation,
yeah,
which I think the Guardians honestly would. I would have to go Guardians just for their pitching, but
yeah.
you're right. White Sox and Twins are just right behind them,
And
and
and that's the thing. The Guardians always has the White Sox number. And if you ask Jasper, he's on here right now, he would agree with me that the Guardians always gives the White Sox a run for their money. And it's because of the pitching. That
yep,
pitching has always been proven to be one of the top in the Central. I mean, the Central is the weakest of all the divisions. Not saying that they don't know how to play baseball. You still have the Twins there too. The Twins have Carlos Correa. They just signed him back this year, and he's a great leader. He played for the Astros. They made it to the World Series. He made it to the playoffs every time he was there, and he's a great leader. He can probably take all these young players from the Twins into that next level.
right,
So I think the it's gonna be a tight race between all three teams. Tim Anderson's gonna take this experience, take it back to the White Sox, take the leadership role, and he's gonna step up. I mean, he's done it before, But now with this exposure, the playoff exposure is just going to show up more. And what else do you need for these players to step up, right? You have the
Right.
WBC, you go to the WBC, you spend time with the top players of your league. It's not just anything, it's the top players of your league, dude. And so I think it's going to be a tight race. But you're picking the Guardians?
I'm going Guardians in this one, yeah. Just for
Guardians.
their starting rotation
And
with Shane
surprise?
Bieber and McAllen.
And the surprise one?
Right there, I'm gonna go Twins. Just with Carlos Correa coming back, new signing. I think he could have picked up this team. If he had a crazy offspring spring training with this guy,
Yeah.
like with
Yeah.
all the signing with the Mets and going to different teams, it was just
Well,
crazy.
he signed. Look, he signed with the Giants, and then
Right.
they let him go. Then he signed with the Mets. They didn't want him, and then the Twins were like, you know what, we'll take you, but we'll take you for less time. We'll take you for what was it, 6 years?
6 years, yeah.
6 years. So I mean, they got it. So look, I'm gonna pick the Guardians, and Jasper, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the White Sox because you're a White Sox fan. He got it. Sox, Guardians, Twins, which is good. You're a fan of the Sox. I would go ahead and pick. If I was a Sox fan, I'll go ahead and pick the Sox. It's not wrong. I just feel like they do need one pitcher for that to happen, and there's not enough pitchers out there in free agency or trades, even the trading deadline. Is what's going to determine who wins this division because it is going to be a hard division. These three teams has been like neck to neck in the last 2 years. I feel like they've been battling for that first place, and they've been battling to try to get to the next level. So they're a trade away. Each team is a trade away to try to make it to the next level, I feel. But I mean, I could be wrong. So I'm picking Guardians, and my surprise will be the White Sox. So, did you say who the surprise is?
I just said Twins, yeah, Twins because of Carlos
Twins.
Correa.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, okay. What's going on here? Sox, Guardians, Tigers. Oh, damn, we forgot about the Tigers. But I think the Tigers, I think Miguel Cabrera since he's going to be retiring, maybe they make a run for, or push to try to get into that first place. It's his last year, so maybe that will help. Sorry, I'm coughing. I mean, I'm not trying to cough into the mic. I'm trying to use the mouth, trying to, so they won't hear it. But my bad, dude. We got that. Any more questions? Go ahead and put it on there. We're gonna go into the East, and the East is gonna be tough. The East is gonna be tough. Chewy's already saying the Yankees first place and the Blue Jays second. I understand that this division, everybody wants the Yankees, but the Yankees starting rotation is stacked. It's
It really
really
is.
stacked. It's really stacked. So I wouldn't. I don't know if I agree with this one.
Really?
I like to. I like to be a surprise to have a surprise team win the division. But who do you got in the East?
You know what? I agree with Chewy actually. I do believe with Yankees and Blue Jays, but my sleeper would be the Rays, and I actually think possibly the two wildcard teams may come from the AL East.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna have three teams coming from the East.
That's a possibility. I feel like the Rays and another team from another division would probably be fighting for that wild
Okay.
card.
So who do you got?
Rays,
Who do you got winning the division?
the Yankees. It's
The
just
Yankees.
with the pitching, Aaron Judge. They have some great hitters in that team.
Aaron Judge is a team captain now. He's a captain like Jader was back then. So he's going to take that role. I felt like he should have been part of the WBC, and he could have probably looked at what everybody's doing, take that experience back into the Yankees. I'm not a Yankee fan, by the way, but that would help. That would help. Jasper says Blue Jays, Orioles, Yankees. Is that in that order? I mean, if it's not in that order, I kind of like the Blue Jays. The Orioles are a sneaky team. They're a young team. You saw the last year, the last 2 months of them playing, they almost snuck into the wild card without anybody even noticing they were playing good baseball. They had all
Right.
these rookies come up in September calls, and they were all performing. So the Yankees are not, I mean, the Orioles are not that way off. That's a tough division. It's really tough. You got the Yankees, Orioles, Rays, Blue Jays, and the Red Sox.
Nobody's talking about the Red Sox making it this year. No,
I don't think the Red Sox have enough.
feels like the
If they're-
Boston Dodgers these days. But
It's just they changed color. They're the Boston Red Sox. You're right.
oh man, Yeah, I don't
They,
see Boston making it far this year. I just don't think they have the better pitching out there. They did pick up some veterans from the Dodgers, but I think the Orioles are on the right track. They are improving every year, and I feel like down the road they will be a playoff contender.
yeah,
But for now, I do think the Blue Jays have the better roster than them. And the Rays, for somehow they always in the mix. Kevin Cash always has a team in the right spot in the right time. And you just saw Rosarena, man. He's becoming a superstar in baseball. And the stuff we've seen for Mexico this year, you're just like, this guy has to be on my team.
he stole the
So
home run. You saw that, man.
one of the best catches of the tournament for sure.
Yeah, he
So
should be one of the best catches.
so that's why I'm
Um,
not counting out the Rays. But I mean the Yankees are just too powerful right now, man. Will this be their year though?
that's the crazy thing because I don't even know if it's gonna be their year because it's been their year for the past 10, 11 years. And to be honest, I don't even know if they're gonna be joining or trying to be the one of the teams that do make it all the way. It's a long season, dude. 162 games. What we were talking about, we said the WBC needs to be played in the All Star week. Maybe start decreasing the amount of games. They were talking about that anyway. I remember the first baseman from the Yankees. He was with the Cubs. Can't think of his name.
Anthony Rizzo.
Anthony Rizzo was saying that there's too long of a season. They should shorten it a little bit. Maybe they should shorten the season and then have 3 weeks off. And in those 3 weeks, maybe play the WBC. I don't know. Something like that. Something that will help. Something that will entertain people to try to get into baseball. Look, the amount of views and the amount of people watching these games this past week or these past 2, 3 weeks is amazing, man. And people talking about baseball on the street that don't even normally know what baseball is. It's exciting. It's
It really
exciting.
is. I mean, you're hearing the numbers, the marketing, people watching, millions of viewers just in certain countries. Over half the country watching baseball. That's exciting. Baseball is growing worldwide, and baseball's here to stay, bringing
Yeah,
it back.
bringing it back. That's what needs to happen. They're trying to increase the fan base. That's what it is,
It
right?
really, yeah,
If you're trying to increase the fan base, they're trying to put these timers in. They're trying to have the game go out how long has the games been going on? 2 hours and 15 minutes. Haven't been paying attention.
yeah. They've been averaging 2 hours 15 minutes. I mean, it's helping the people from the East Coast. They finally could get to sleep before midnight. Hopefully, trying to stay up for these games. I was
Yeah,
there for a week, man, and I couldn't watch games past 1 in the morning. It was crazy.
yeah.
And but yeah, it's great. The games are moving faster. You brought up a good point there that you said you went to the restroom and you missed one of the half innings.
I
That
did.
was
I
crazy.
did. I did, dude. And it's not like I was taking forever to go in there. It's not like I took a 30-minute restroom break. It was like let me go to the restroom right quick. 2 minute, 3 minute restroom break. Came back. They were back batting. So it was the Dodgers and the Padre game, I believe.
That's
And
so
and
funny.
and I was like, okay, well, when I come back, I should be able to see the Dodgers bat. And when I came back, the Padres were batting again. So I was like, what the hell? I
Yeah, man.
missed
So
out.
these games are moving much faster. I mean, it is exciting. It's gonna be fun with the shift as well. Bigger bases. We're gonna see your favorite players more on base these days, which is gonna be fun as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Tired of the shift sometimes getting in the way. It took a lot of people's careers away too. A lot of players that were really good that
yeah.
didn't make it in the league because of the shift. So
Yeah,
it's
and,
gonna.
and that's one of the important things. But they found a gap to it. You can move your outfielder into that position. You can
Okay.
have two outfielders and then move that I guess if it's a lefty, you move the left fielder into your rover position, which is not really called that, but I'm using it as a rover because that's what they use it in softball. You have five infielders and you have two outfielders. So you'll be able to do they'll be able to do that because I believe they did that with there was a player that they used that shift on. But
Oh,
the
Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo, yeah, Joey Gallo. He was the one that they shifted on, and it worked. Max Scherzer, another one. He's using his time to actually do a quick pitch. So you only get one timeout if you're the hitter. If you're not ready, you can call time. But as soon as that pitcher steps on that mound, time starts. So then it's gonna take time to get adjusted. I was one of the ones. Remember, I said I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I have to look into it and kind of get used to it. So just just like me, there's a lot of people out there that wait, the game is going to lose a lot of things. Like this WBC is the last time we're going to get to see untimed baseball,
You're
and
right. I mean,
you should appreciate it.
we were supposed to get on earlier, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, the game just kept going longer
get
and longer.
going and going and going and going. Like, what time are we getting on? What time are we getting on?
Yeah, like
So
exciting.
yeah, so
But yeah, I
it
mean,
worked
it's
out.
exciting. It's exciting. This is tomorrow's the last day, basically.
Yeah, tomorrow's the last day of untimed baseball. Um, I mean, it is what it is. Moving forward, we should be able to like try to see if it is going to work, and I'm pretty sure it is. People are going to get used to it. There's going to be the old timers that are going to take time to get used to it. You have Manny Machado that says, "I'm always going to take a strike because I'm going to take my time stepping into the plate." So that mentality is going to change, of course. Everybody's mentality. The game's going to be so different and so like players are going to be so used to it that it's just going to become norm. It's going to
It's
be the norm.
it's definitely going to be a harder change for the veterans that have been in the league for a long time. It's going to be a hard time for adjusting for them. Most of the other players have that coming up from the minors. They've already been used to this type of process with the timers, so I feel like they're going to come in ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to used to as a fan as well. I mean, it's so weird looking at a clock while you're watching the game.
Yeah.
You're watching a timer in the back of the screen. You're like, what is going on? It just looks funky. It looks like a timer for basketball for some reason. But if it's making it faster, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how the
Well,
fans react to it by the end of the year.
well, Jasper says he doesn't like it. And if you caught one of our shows before we started this, I was one of the ones that said I don't think I like it, but I gave it a chance. I'm gonna give it a chance, and we should look forward to changes in the baseball field because the shift it kind of killed a little bit of the game, kind of the little bit of the defense that we didn't get to see. The Jeter throw from deep in the hole for a shortstop. We didn't get to see that play a lot. Now we're gonna to be able to see those plays like diving plays and stuff like that. A bigger basis, we're gonna get to see a lot more steals. That's gonna be
More,
something
more
good.
of those swing moves that we've been seeing.
Exactly. The one that I did not like and I still don't like is the throw to first. You only have 3 attempts to throw there, or 2 attempts, and the third one, if you don't get them, you're rewarded the next base. I don't like that because that kind of could change how you approach your hitter, how you throw to your hitter. So, I mean, a lot of people have been saying, is this going to happen in game 7 in a full count, bases loaded type game? It's the rule. So,
Yeah,
if it's
that's a
the
good
rule
point.
and you mess up, guess what? Ball 4, run scores, tie game, or they win the game. So,
I'm looking forward to the walk off happens because of the timer. Like somebody goes
damn.
from third to home. That's going to cause a big dilemma, and
Yeah.
I'm all here for the drama.
And we're going to be here talking about that drama if that happens because that's what we're here for the news.
Yep, that's the point.
So, anything else that we're forgetting to talk about, Ernie? I think we
I think
hit
we
all the
covered all.
points.
Yeah, yeah,
We
for
covered
sure.
all the points. I don't know if we went too fast, but the reason why we're going fast is because we're getting through all these topics that we want to get through. We don't want to go the full hour. We want to get everything out. But if there's any questions out there that you're hearing, go ahead and put them out there. And if you're watching us for the first time, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, send us a message, whatever you want. What can we fix? How can we get better? We like constructive feedback, even if it's negative feedback. We'll take it in and we'll try to make it better because this is a podcast that we want to talk about. We want to talk to fans, and we are fans. We're not analysts. We're not out there taking any stats and stuff like that, but we're fans talking baseball, and this is what we want to do. We have a good question right here. It says, quick question. Yeah, there you go. So there, he started laughing. I started laughing too. We'll wait for the question and see what happens. Okay, hold on.
He's,
Let's
he's
see.
asking, "What's your NO picks?" Chewy's asking, who are your NO picks?"
You're gonna have to wait for next week for that one because yeah, we have to give it a little we gotta make it a little fair. Like, hey, we'll give you this one this week, and then next week we'll start draft for RTV coming up soon. Yes, it is. I believe it's next week on Sunday, so that one's coming up. Be ready for that one. We'll have a lot of. If you guys haven't seen the show, with Will. Like me and Will, we've been doing the fantasy show. He's still doing the fantasy thing, and he's still putting all the stuff. He has a great show. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to like send him messages. This guy knows all this stuff. He's always on top of it. Him and Javi are gonna be there. We're trying to see if Tony Snap's gonna come back and help him out, or try to get on this show with us, Ernie and myself. We're trying to grow the RTB family so we can have more baseball and more live shows. Um, we're trying to make this a network, man. You know, a baseball network. That's what it's all
That's
about.
right. Yeah, man.
So
Have different
yeah,
shows every week.
yeah. So yeah, next Monday. Be back next Monday for sure because we're gonna talk about that one. And the NL, that's what I like. I think the AL I think needs to change already because there's no AL The difference the back then the difference was the AL was the DH, the NL was no DH. Now they both have DH. So I think it's time to change that things to auction draft too. Yes, it's an auction draft. Uh, let's see. We have another fantasy. Oh, what the hell? I want to play fantasy baseball. This I got
We have to
another
start
one.
a whole. We have to start a new league for
I
everybody.
have to start another league. Yeah, so we'll do that. Um, Final takes, Ernie. What you got?
Well, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to join your show, Carlos, and we're looking for the baseball season to start. And tomorrow's final is going to be a good one, so tune in. We're excited for baseball. Trout Otani, two best players.
Yeah.
You know, Otani may leave soon, so you never know. It may be time to be watching this on a regular basis in the next years.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this since you're an Angel fan. Does that hurt knowing that maybe the Angels aren't gonna try to sign them and keep them there?
You know what? It's a bummer, but I know he has to do what he has to do. He has to get his money, and unfortunately, he doesn't have the best relationship with the Angels owner Artie Moreno. He was supposed to sell the team, decided to keep the team, and I'm not sure that Tani was too happy with that. So, and I think he's gonna go to another area where he could be with a new buddy or something and make another super team.
Yeah. Um, he's already a super team just by himself. Only he
Yeah,
does pitching, hitting. He's fast. Like, did you hear what they were talking about? They were saying that he's the fastest runner, faster than Trey Turner.
right,
He's on top in pitching. He's on top in hitting. What else? Like, you know how they used to say, bulldoze. I don't know if you're old enough, but back then it was Bo does everything.
right. Bo knows.
Your Bo knows exactly. So this is Shohei knows. You know, like we should make that popular in the baseball thing. So yeah, it's one of those things that if as a fan, if that was happening to the Dodgers, I know there's players out there that that left the Dodgers this past year, and it felt like an end of an era because that era was playoff. Every year they were going to playoffs. And now that those players aren't there, that's an end of an era, you know. Like now we have new players to they
Right.
need to step up, they need to do all this
Now the
next
Dodgers
thing.
are depending more like on a younger talent and expecting the same result. So we'll see
Yeah,
how that goes for this year. They
yeah,
do still have a solid team. It's just
yeah,
younger players with cheaper contracts that would have been than other players
yeah.
Dodgers usually had.
And we'll talk about that next week. We'll go ahead and talk about the champs, whoever wins the WBC, who wins the MVP. I forgot to mention one of those things though. Like I don't know if anybody knew that the MVPs for the WBC pool. We had the guy from Chinese Taipei. We had Otani winning his pool, which is Group B. Then you had Randy Rosarena from Team Mexico in Pool C, and then Pool D. Salvador Perez, he won the MVP, and there was awards for these, but I didn't see any big news on who won the pool MVP. And here they are.
Oh,
Um,
okay, cool. I
yeah,
didn't even know about this. It's
exactly.
perfect sync. These
Yeah,
players were the best in this each pool
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And then you had the guy from Nicaragua that got signed from the Tigers.
Right.
He struck out three big time players from Dominicana. So, um, you
Yeah,
know,
I think he struck out Soto, Julio Rodriguez, and Manny Machado back to back with a
wasn't
nasty
Honey.
changeup.
Yeah, all of them
And
was the nasty changeup, right?
right, right, just
Yeah.
throwing some nasty pitches. These guys were fooled all the time, and he got a job in the while he was just sitting there, like after the inning, like, hey, you just got a job by the Tigers. Such an
Yeah,
awesome story. We have seen so many good players coming out of this World Baseball Classic that are about to get a new job.
yeah,
Jerickson Profile was a free agent, had a great tournament with the Netherlands just got signed. Not sure with
Yeah.
who, but he just got signed as well.
Yeah.
A lot of players are being looked at. You saw this 21-year-old from Japanese pitcher today. He was looking solid, man. He
He
looks like
was.
he's the next top thing.
Yeah. He
So
won't be
whoever
a free
has,
agent until 2027, though, I believe, right? I
okay,
think that's what they were saying. Yeah, he's 21, but
which
he's still going to be signed till 2027, which is probably
which
3-4 years.
right, but you never know. He'll find a way to get out of Japan and come to the major leagues.
Hmm.
Find a loophole for him to come over here and get paid.
102 miles per hour at 21 years old. Man, solid, solid.
Right, man. This guy has some good stuff, man. I had never seen a young kid throw like that.
Nah, But that's
I didn't.
becoming the normal. It's
Yeah,
becoming the normal. So
right.
Chu is saying I almost passed out when Freeman left Atlanta. I was kind of like I didn't know that was gonna happen. I mean, it happened. I thought he was gonna retire Brave, and
I really
I'm just
thought so
being a
too. It was like a bad breakup with Freddie Freeman leaving Atlanta.
yeah.
It honestly, they just brought Matt Olson from the A's, and it just felt like he got changed for a younger girlfriend, and it just felt like kind of bad. Even after he won the World Series, so it was kind of not too fun to see for Freeman.
That's
But
true.
but
Jasper,
let's
thanks, man. Thanks for coming in, and yeah, we'll see you next week on. We'll try to see if we schedule it for Monday or Tuesday. We haven't planned that out, but we'll go ahead and put that on there. Um, let's change the topic. Yeah, we'll change the topic. We don't want you crying. He's in LA. You're in LA. What are you talking about? You know, he's a Braves fan. He's a Braves fan. That's why.
that's cool.
Yeah, we already changed the topic. Well, we reached the end of our show. Thank you guys for watching. If we missed anything, like I said in the beginning of the show, or actually in the middle of the show, go ahead and send us those messages, and we'll try to fix this as we go on. This is Ernie's first time being on live YouTube podcast. Let us know how he did. I think he did good. I like that he knows his stuff. He talks about baseball. He's a baseball person, and we couldn't have anybody better. So, another thing, don't forget to watch the fantasy portion of this show. We do have the fantasy portion, which comes on Fridays, East Coast time. That's what the dilemma with us having me being on the fantasy side. I kind of wanted to do more of the news, and Will wanted to do the fantasy. So let's just do 2 shows, and that's what's going on right here. We have 2 shows going on for Real Talk, and hopefully, if things get to a point where we need to have a 3rd show with someone else, we'll go ahead and do that. We want to grow this channel. We want to put more baseball stuff out there for people, and have a lot of fun with it. So Ernie should be a regular guest. Of course, man. That's what I'm trying to have him. Trying to have him on here all the time. So if he
Been
is
trying to convince me for a long time.
exactly. So hit that subscribe button if he does, for sure. Yeah. Oh, did you already give the final take? I think I asked you already, right?
Oh yeah, we're good. I think we're all good for the day.
Okay, cool. My final take, I already said it. We want to grow the game of baseball, and what better way to do it than talking about it? I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Ernie. We need to get another name, Ernie. Like, I don't know what we're going to call it. Ern Dog, Ernie Ball,
Earn
Ernie
Dog's the
Ball.
high school days, man, but we'll bring it back.
Hey, we can call you Ernie Ball, like the Ernie Ball string, the guitar strings. I don't know. We'll come up with something. All right. Real
For
Talk
sure, man.
Baseball, signing out.
All right, peace out, guys.